All right. I want to start off with giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the Apostle James well, and a peace, blessing, salutation to the hopeful elect that consists of each of the tribes of Israel. Just want to start off with the elect. And I was reading this book right here, son of a pamphlet of it. This book right here, Shahrazad Ali. And pretty much, the talk has been on, the nigger woman. Um, and it's mighty funny. I believe this book uh, was created in the 80s, the late 80s. Way the book was way before its time, and it's kind of some of the things that we see today. Um, it, what I'm gonna read is the Good Wife Syndrome, and it says I'm gonna start out with a couple of scriptures first. So bear with me one moment. Sulaki. Let me see. Bear with me one moment. Uh, Seeing which one I'm gonna start with. So First Peter 3:1. Let me see what it says. Yeah. Let me matter of fact. First Peter. Let me get it in the KJ in the GNT. Let me see what it says. Wives and husbands in the same way. Salaki, wives and husbands. First Peter 3:1. Because it's not a coincidence. This is what we're seeing today. So 3:1, First Peter. In the same way, you wives must submit yourselves to your husbands, so that if any of them do not believe Yahweh's words, your conduct will win them over to believe. And some people may be like, "What does that mean?" Well, if you're a woman and you have a husband who doesn't believe, it's simple. You be on point. You honor him. You show him respect, reverence. Keep your house in order. You conduct yourself rudely. If I'm saying that correctly, um, submission. You're not out there. You're not easily to be gotten by another man. You're not seeking for attention. You're not. You don't have those wanton eyes. And if you have children, you're doing the best you can for your children. Basically, just keep your house in order. If the man isn't necessarily on point, and hopefully you don't have in these days of time, hopefully your man isn't on drugs or he's a bisexual. Let's hope he's somewhat on point. So the world that we live in now, opposed to the woman that's somewhat believed. You know, um, I don't want to be too much on this topic, but we see what's going on with the woman that's out here in America, and they're not looking too good. They're constantly all on social media. They want attention. They pretty much promote whoredom, lewdness, wickedness, etc. But if you got to become completely different, contrary to what the world wants women, starting with the so-called black woman, um, what the world wants them to be, the so-called white man. They want you to be a whore and pretty much to destroy your household. They want you to sodomize your sons, in how you say destroy your daughters and make her pretty much a whore. So it would not be necessary for you to say a word because they will see how pure and reverent your conduct is. You should not use outward aids to make yourself beautiful, like women you see today. Um, the BBLs, the eyelashes, the makeup, and it's much more, the filters, etc. But such as way you fix your hair, such as the way you fix your hair or the jewelry you put on or the dresses you wear. Instead, your beauty should consist of your true inner self. It's not a coincidence that these women today, they're always talking about, and it would jeopardize a whole relationship in the household, the so-called try to find their so-called inner self, right? But really, all in all, is really you just want to be a whore because what we're starting to see, these women are running to these social media platforms and they're removing clothing. So pretty much inner self to these women that are outside this truth is boredom. Lewdness, perverseness, weirdness, and just being out there. You know, um, talking to a bunch of men, and it's you don't really got to go too much far into this, man. It is out there. If you're dealing with a lot of men, their DNA is in you. So you can just put that up on YouTube. So it said the ageless beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit, which is the greatest value in Yahweh Bashem Shah's sight. For the devout women of the past who placed their hope in Yahweh Bashem Shah used to make themselves beautiful by submitting themselves to their husbands. See that? So that was the way before. Is it? And all of a sudden today's day and age, it's like a whole um, intention to destroy a man. And we understand the so-called black woman. All she has been doing since the '60s, roughly, has been putting the so-called black man on blast. But you never put Zaddy on blast. So Sarah was like that. She obeyed Abraham and called him her master. You are now her daughters. See that? Because you women, so-called black woman, Latina, Hispanic, Native American woman, you are indeed the children of Sarah. We come from Abraham and Sarah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Um, Salaki. You are now her daughters if you do good and are not afraid of anything. So you got to be good. You got to do good. You know. Um, so I'm going back to this book, and it states, this is page 43. It says the good wife syndrome. So it says that when the black woman starts out trying to do right regarding her man, her home, and her family, she has a very difficult time with the personal anguish she suffers from the ridicule from other black women. And let me get that real quick. In Sirach 25, um, where is that? It says the woman are jealous of another woman. Um, Let me see. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna just jump around right here. So this is Sirach 25 and 13. So it says, no wound is as serious as wounded love, and we understand Esau has destroyed, that affection, that connection between the so-called black man and the black woman, and it's trickling down to the Northern Kingdom tribes, Hispanic, Latino, Native Americans. No troubles are as serious as the troubles that women cause, because, and this is why our women being spoils of war, they've been used to what cause trouble. No, and they're thinking they're winning, but in all, you just really destroying yourself as well. No sufferings are worse than the sufferings caused by people who hate you. Yeah, because this is what this whole feminist thing is about: hating men. No revenge is worse than revenge taken by an enemy. No, and our woman has become our enemy. That's why the scripture said was Micah 7:10. She's that is my enemy. Verse 15. No poison is deadlier than the poison of a snake, and no anger is deadlier than the anger of a woman. And we've been feeling this, man. Ever since the 1960s, ever since we integrated with the so-called white man, and that feminism had took hold of our people. Verse 16, I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. When a wife is in a bad mood, her expression changes until she looks like an angry bear. It's not funny what these bitches are saying. Man, it's funny. It's crazy as hell. Because do not woman say throw the whole man away and go get the bear. Hey, So verse 18, her husband has to go and eat with the neighbors, but he can't hold back his bitter sighs. So 19, compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any other trouble looks small. May such women suffer the fate of sinners, because ultimately, what bad times is coming for you women out of because basically you have caused much pain and grief. So verse 20, a quiet man living with a nagging wife is like an old man climbing up a sandy hill. Um, Let me see. Verse 23, a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed and break his heart. Show me a timid man who can never make up his mind, and I will show you a wife who doesn't make her husband happy. So sin began with a woman, and we all must die because of her. Don't let a bad wife have her way any more than you will allow water to leak from your kisser, because if it, especially now, um, if you do have a water leak, your bill will become extremely high. So it says, verse 26, if she won't do as you tell her, divorce her. Right? I guess it might be 26. So let me get verse 26. Bear with me one moment. So let me get 26 about the jealousy of a woman. Hold on real quick. Let me get this. Let me put it in. Okay, so it's 26 and 6. So let me get that. So let me see. All right, so this is in the GNT. Sirach 26 and 6. But a woman jealous of another woman causes heartache and grief. And we all understand, we all should know what those words mean. Her tongue lashes out at everyone. And we're seeing that today on these podcasts. So continuing on, it says, so let me start back up. So when the black woman starts out trying to do right regarding her man, her home, a pick me, oh, like what the nigga woman has been talking about, the lady from, damn, the Cosby Show. Forgot her name. Her home and her family, she has a very difficult time with the personal anguish she suffers from the ridicule from other black women, that jealousy. They tease and mock her for trying to fulfill her rightful obligations to her family. If she works on a job outside the home but still attempts to properly care for her family, she will be verbally assaulted. Is it not, Slaki? Is that not what's going on today? And criticized for her efforts. Being a good wife is considered dull and outdated by the modern black woman. I'm telling you, bros, this book was created in the 80s, way before its time. So this are some things that they say. You're a fool for working all day and cooking all night. He'll eat if he gets hungry. Why don't you tell him to cook dinner? He gets home before you do. 3, you're a fool to give him all your money. You work for it. You got a right to spend it on whatever you want. 4, I wouldn't take it. 5, girl, you ain't his slave. 6, why don't you go to this party with us this weekend? 7, it may be for some people, but it's not for me. I just ain't cut out for it. That's the black woman. Not verse 8. Number 8. God ain't made the man. I'll do it. He says, God ain't made the man. I do all that for. You ought to heard it from the nigga boy. 9. You ought to just tell him that you ain't gonna do it. 10. Girl, I used to do that, but I got hip. 11. You have to train a man to do what you want him to do. 12. It's not fair for him to expect you to do all that. It says the above 12 remarks are just a sample of what they say in front of her face. Behind her back, they whisper. Number one, that is the dumbest bitch I've ever seen. Two, did you hear that shit? Three, girl, I bet he's having big fun while she's stuck at home. Mm-mm-mm. That's crazy. Four, I wonder what he's telling her. Five, did you see how he looks? Six, he got her in a real trick bag. Seven, I don't know how they do it. Eight, I ain't working myself to death for nobody. Nine, she don't have no idea what's happening. 10, I don't know how she can go for that. These are just examples. Some are more cutting than these. So it says it is a travesty for black women to criticize other black women who are married and trying to be a good wife to their man. So it says being married and doing the right thing is looked upon as ignorant and old timey. Pick me's, right? Black women make erroneous charges against the righteous black woman who is trying to do her proper duty to her man. It says God and her nation, she should not be mocked, but respected and admired for her good works. Any woman who deprives herself of the absolute thrill of serving and taking care of a black man is depriving herself of a special reward. The look of peace and satisfaction on the contented face of a black man has no equal. There is no better heaven for the black man than to have his woman in order. A black man who has a supportive woman feels good to go out to work. Yeah, it actually says that. So, I mean, let me see what it's what. Hold on, let me see. So, matter of fact, Sirach 26:1. And this is in the G&T. The husband of a good wife is a fortunate man. He will live twice as long because of her. A fine wife is a joy to her husband, and he can live out his years in peace. A good wife is among the precious blessings given to those who fear the Lord. Whether such men are rich or poor, they will be happy and always look cheerful. See that? Um, so verse 13, I'm jumping around. A gracious wife is her husband's delight. Her abilities make him a stronger man. Um, a wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words. A modest wife has endless charm. It is a quality too precious to measure. See that? I'm gonna continue on. It says, yeah, a black man who has a supportive woman feels good to go out to work, and his day is productive if he is at peace with his woman. The only way the black man can be at peace with the black woman is when she is doing what he wants her to do. A black man who sees his woman trying to please him will do everything he can to try to please her. He will make a good husband and father if given the chance. A man is proud of a good woman in a good home, and it says that even in the scriptures, you know. When you continue on reading the first Peter 3, it states that about a good husband. So it says, a man is proud of a good woman in a good home, and it gives him the incentive and confidence to be successful, no matter what the odds are out there. So the reason why, due to the so-called white man, um, he turned that woman against us is again, to break us pretty much at all angles, Um, if our mental fortitude, if our mental is not in good, in contact, and good, if I'm saying it right, what the fuck can we do? If you gotta remember, our moms destroy us, our aunties, our girl cousins, etc. So just look at how a bunch of so-called black men have grown up and just they're still act as a child. It's because it was all the attacks, so we won't get nowhere as a nation. You know. So it says, no matter what the odds are out there, and we remember as a so-called black man, you have many odds out there because the world is purposely set against you. So-called black, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, West Indian man. But it says a man is proud of a good woman in a good home, and it gives him the incentive and confidence to be successful, no matter what the odds are out there. If he knows that when he comes home, he has the tender touch and attention of his woman waiting for him. A black man is the only one who knows what it takes to the black woman make the black woman happy because she has no idea what real happiness is. And that's true. But she's running so much interference that the black man rarely gets a chance to be himself and release the love and trust he has because of the black woman's funky attitude. And like I said, this is way before its time. Um, Let me see. The black man cannot pattern his life in such a way as to have time or memory to constantly remind the black woman that he loves her. Love is not a sentence, it is a demonstration. Yep. If the black woman doubts that her man loves her, the doubt grows. It does not matter after that what the man tries to do or what he says, she will remain unhappy. Yeah, you know. Because really, all in all, the so called black woman is very fucked up mentally. And it goes back to the so called white man in the environment she grew upon. But this is not a license for her. Pretty much what I'm saying. This doesn't give this bitch no right to fucking does to do what she do or for us to accept that bullshit. You know, really all in all, that bitch just has to go. If it, like I was watching Elder Bakar video, you know, we would be wrong to become vigilantes and start getting rid of our people. But really, all in all, is the right thing to do. But ultimately, Yahweh Shah is going to do it. He's going to set up a lot of things that's going to happen in America where our people are going to be judged, you know. Yes, you woman as well. So it says, a black woman who is relaxed at home, cooking, planning, a loving welcome for her man, making a dress or icing a cake is far happier than a black woman sitting at home alone under great duress, waiting on the phone to ring, trying to figure out how to find a man, or chewing her nails off, wondering where he is. Yeah, that's that that black woman mindset. They can just the God will send her right man. No, he won't. No, he won't. There is no comparison if contentment and happiness is the goal. The black woman's natural instincts have become so polluted and distorted that I'm not going to read everything, but she has rejected the plan that works for the one that fails. She is on the wrong path and insists on stumbling on. Let me see. Okay, yeah. It 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 should be black people's greatest collective hope that at some point the total effect of the mind tampering during enslavement is understood. The genetic psychological damage done to blacks in slavery has been forgotten as lightweight action that's over and past. It's much more serious as long lasting than that. It has caused the people to be morally estranged from their past. The black woman must be reminded of her duties, and the black man must stop settling for the jumbled ideas she expresses. It is not do not the so-called black woman come on these podcasts again and just say whatever. They say this, hey, this is what the so-called black woman ought to be doing. How she feel, her opinion, you know. So she must accept her basic ideas from the black man and improve on them instead of rejecting them in the name of having her own way. Hey, well, remember the scripture even says rebelliousness is as a form of witchcraft. So it says it has been proven that she does not know what she wants, nor how to get the things she claims she does want. A big degree, a big job, a big car, and a big bank account does not compete with a big, beautiful black man. No way, no day. I'm gonna pretty much end it with that. But um, like I said, yeah, bros, even you women, I guess, they check this book out because this is way before its time. It was really seeing this play out in this day of time that we're living in. But Lord's will was edified with that and say shalom. And one more last thing before I go. If you, hey, I will behoove you if you want to deal with the nigga woman here in America. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.